Hey, I'm Luke Williams with Hoppies, and today I'm going to be showing you how to properly break down and clean a Springfield 1911 A1. Now I get asked all the time, how often should I clean my firearm? Great question, but unfortunately the answer has a lot of different variables, like the weather in your area, the humidity, the dust, how many rounds you're putting through it, how often you're shooting it, what the storage conditions are like. All of these play a factor along with many other different variables, so at the end of the day, make sure you check the manufacturer's recommendations for your particular firearm. So before we get started, we need to make sure that our firearm is clear and safe, so we're going to go ahead and make sure that we take the magazine out, and then we're going to visually and physically inspect our firearm. Once we know that our firearm is safe, then we can go ahead and start breaking it down. If you have never taken apart a 1911, it really is not that hard of a job. First, we're going to push back the recoil spring plug right below the barrel. With this pressed in, we now will be able to turn the barrel bushing, which will release the recoil spring. Make sure to keep pressure when removing the recoil spring, otherwise it's going to shoot out and it could cause injury. Next, we're going to push the slide back, aligning the raised portion of the takedown lever with the disassembly notch. Holding the slide in position, you will slide the takedown lever pin out of the receiver. Now we can remove the slide, the recoil spring and guide rod, and the barrel. One thing about the 1911 is that the barrel is going to remove from the front of the slide. Now that it's broken down, let's get it cleaned up. We will start by using a bronze brush attached to a pistol rod, soaked in some Hoppies No. 9 gun bore cleaner. We will run this through the barrel from breech to muzzle. This is going to break up the gunk inside the barrel. Now we will switch over to a jag and some patches. Still using the Hoppies gun bore cleaner, we will run a wet patch through and then a dry patch. We're going to repeat this process until we get clean patches back. Once we have a clean patch, we will repeat the process using Hoppies lubricating gun oil. Now let's move to the frame. We're going to use the Hoppies utility gun brushes to break up all the nasty that our frames tend to hold. For this, I'm actually going to give a little inside secret. We're going to use the Hoppies Bore Snake CLP. It does a great job of cleaning your frame and slide, even though we're not using a bore snake. This is also a time to use cotton swabs and picks to get to those hard to reach areas. Next, we're going to work on the slide, getting it all wiped down, brushed, and cleaned up. We're going to use the Hoppies lubricating gun oil around the entire frame, especially in high friction areas. For the slide rail cuts, we will add a drop of lubricant on the back end, then set it up on the muzzle end, letting the lubricant run down the slide cuts. Now we're going to reverse our breakdown steps and reassemble the 1911 A1. Make sure you remember to keep pressure on your recoil spring when putting it back together to keep from having it spring back out. Once it's together, we're going to finish it off with some lubricant on a patch, getting it all wiped down. Now that we have the 1911 all put back together and cleaned up, we're going to go ahead and do a quick functions test. As always, make sure you're pointing it in a safe location. Excellent. We're going to hold it, do it again. There's our reset. It works exactly as it should. All right, guys, now it's time to go ahead and put this back in the safe, or if it's your EDC, go ahead and put ammunition back in your magazine, put your magazine in, and make sure you get one in the chamber. If you have any questions, whether you're new to the gun world or not, go ahead and drop those in the comments below because we'd love to hear from you. And for more information, visit hoppies.com.